Hey guys, it is Blur, and I am just gonna jump into the readings quite honestly. Seeing this, and this message is for you. Getting heavy Gemini energy with the lovers at the bottom. We recently just went through a eclipse, and we have a series of them popping up in the coming weeks. Now more than ever, your actions are basically gonna dictate a lot of the things that transpire when it comes to the cycle. But I feel like for a lot of people, there's been a sense of disappointment. Some of those disappointments, Three of Swords, and we have the Eight of Swords. A lot of these disappointments are self-induced in terms of thinking yourself out of a situation where you feel like you it's being caught up in your own delusionment of a scenario or problem that is non-existent, and in doing so it's kind of stopping oneself from like really achieving a sense of infinite possibilities and destiny energy. Six of Swords definitely states a going away or stepping away from a circumstance and heading towards another circumstance that may have been built, but still reaching there and being undecisive. Was this the right choice? Was this the right thing to do? We're just going to tap in more into those energies and see exactly what that means. If you guys are noticing a difference in the background, it's because I am currently in Mexico City. That is currently my base as of now. So I think going into this, it's definitely a walking away. Ten of Coins inverse tells me that 10 deals with completion. Tens deal with completion, as I stated just now, and Pentacles deal with tangible physicality within this plane of existence. So it being inverse just kind of gives me a sense of stepping away or being stuck in a perversion of what you believe, the cultivation of prosperity or a physical manifestation of a tangible and consistent want within its physicality. So think job, think in terms of jobs. That's a tangible form of physical consistency that reaps a consistent reward or consistent like reaction response. If I work 9 hours, I get this amount of pay. Same thing with relationships. So it being inverse, there is a sense of you walking away from a potentiality. The world gives me a sense of walking into a new sense of a potentiality. So something's definitely been put to the forefront, as in what you are stepping into, stepping away from something. So it's definitely something of your doing in manifestation for sure. So it's manifesting or trying to grasp a new tangible kind of like sense of the world or circumstance. Yeah, this is a lot of indecision. The Two of Coins tells me that you're stuck on juggling a lot of two tangible, like, opportunities or tangible renders of what could be a potentiality, honestly. The Three of Wands tells me there is a sense of teamwork or collaboration, deciding whether or not you are going to allow yourself to get involved in a particular circumstance and situation that deals with having to work with others, stepping into a new sense of being. The idea of what you think is the ultimate fulfillment is basically almost as if it's a test to see whether you are going to settle for something of potentiality, or are you going to allow the universe to render actual tangible steps and aspects to what it is that you're searching for. This position just tells me that it's something that you've been manifesting. You've utilized and alchemized the steps that are needed to actualize. This two inverse two coins tells me that there's still some level of indecisiveness when it comes to what it is that you're trying to achieve or allowing yourself to. Ace of Wands, opportunity, something's coming in that will kind of re-synergize you. But I feel like there is a sense of this kind of combination gives me imposter syndrome. So when I say imposter syndrome, it's like asking the universe for, let's say you're a musician and you're asking the universe for a chance to, play at a gig, and the universe renders up a potentiality of you, let's say, going to an open mic. It's this kind of energy of something that you've been wanting passionately coming in, but then the strength card is inverse. It tells me whether or not this is a tangible thing. Do I have the ambition, willpower, or strength to keep this being a potentiality? For sure. It's like for a lot of individuals in the collective that are currently watching this, I think I think a direction has definitely been given. This is the star card, so a direction has definitely been given as to what needs to be done, or what direction one needs to go. Because the star card, think of it as a direction, but not so much latitude, longitude, like a direction, but not the context. So think of it like a North Star. When you look at the North Star, you know that that's a direction you need to head towards, but it doesn't give you a particular coordinate. You know, the closer you get to that, the closer you get to the North Star, the more of the situation is rendered, so you're able to get more context to what it is that you're going towards. But this death inverse gives the sense of, you know, knowing the direction that one needs to go to, but stopping oneself from actually doing so. But you can't stop yourself from evolution. You can stall yourself from it. But there's so much of the corner that you can keep that the universe is going to continuously push you against unless you go with its flow. Because quite honestly, the universe has infinity. It can keep this up forever. You are experiencing this plane within a human vessel. So understand the constraints, and it's best to go with the flow instead of against it. You know, what energy needs to be embodied? Yeah. Ace of Cups gives me a sense of opportunity of emotional growth or emotional extension. There's a lot of like sleepless nights, a lot of little jump spurts, meaning you're in a mood to kind of do something, but then something comes up, and then doing that something kind of like takes you away from the feeling and vibration of what you wanted to accomplish beforehand. So I wrap this reading up to say that the best way for you to kind of get within the realms of the higher aspect or expression that best suits you in this particular circumstance is to really get into a imaginative, like emotional state, but authentic, you know, get out of the realms of tapping into things that like no longer serve you. Think of it like going over what ifs. This is the Five of Cups, and you see this man right here. He is looking over spilt milk, spilt cups that, you know, he can't get those substances back into those cups. They've already spilled. But what he doesn't see behind him are these two cups right here that are tangible potentialities that could, you know, eventually become something that caters to or overtakes the wants and potentialities of what this could have been. Because this is just a could have. A could have. Utilize this time or this experience of the spilt cup as a means to keep this as not happening to these two. Ace of Cups. You have three three extensions of the cup in a row. We have the Ace of Cups, which came out before. Then we have the Five of Cups, and then we have the Knight of Cups. So this is giving a sense of an emotional extension, individual or circumstance that was a contemplation of a what if and a refocusing on what is, which are these two cups here. A lot of twos. So two of coins in this deck. Then you have the two of wands. So a lot of fire energy, a lot of fire energy. So water energy is here too. When I say water energy, in the sense of the elementals, like the zodiacs. Four of coins inverse. Yeah, there is a real reassessment of one's values and taking the initial steps to kind of like rectify or realign it with one's true intention. This is giving like an energy of someone. Six of Wands inverse. Six of Wands deals with victory, deals with wins, losses. I mean, wins and conquering, whatever you wanna say for this. But either way, I say this to say six of Wands inverse just tells me, gives me an energy of one being stuck on winning and taking a route. Eight of Wands, taking a route in which a light at the end of the tunnel is perceived. But in doing so, the ten of wands appears. There is a reassessment of what one is putting their energy into. Are you going to continuously keep carrying this baggage of perpetual trauma responses? I definitely see the energy of this being like walked away from, you know. The more the more baggage you let go of yourself, the more energy you're able to utilize towards things that you're able to tangibly actualize and change. No one evolves or grows when they're in a stagnant idea of what they view and perceive themselves as. You have to be open to the fact that you may be different, you may be wrong in a circumstance, but just think of it as you expanding your knowledge set. What you thought was so has a bigger scope. And definitely see that happening. This is inverse. So there's a sense of letting go, letting down one's kind of like fixed mindset. This is a fixed mindset energy. This is a mindset of individual who, is fixed on their particular perceptions, you know. And as much as those perceptions lead to heartbreaks, they do get the clarity, a sense of clarity that's needed. But there's a heavy stance on the what if. What if nostalgia, Six of Cups, and Six of Coins. It's just reciprocity. It's looking back and seeing the difference of reciprocity. Six of Cups deals with nostalgia, reminiscing, thinking of things of the past that are nostalgic. You have the Six of Coins here. This speaks on reciprocity, giving what you're taking what you're giving, so on and so forth. Right after that, you have the Three of Coins. This is camaraderie. This is teamwork, team building. Then you have the inverse of the Hierophant. The Hierophant is structure, laws, philosophies, religious viewpoints, fixed in a fixed sense. It's a Taurus part. So I believe, quite honestly, it's stuck on old values, stuck on old values, and in doing so, Wheel of Fortune inverse. It's like the wheel is taking another route. How do we sum this up for the collective? Not every argument needs to be had. There's no more contextualization of one's emotions or what needs to be said or whatever. You've said what needs to be said. You said everything you could say. So saying things to be right or to win a particular argument is not conducive to anyone's progression. Because quite honestly, that is a very kind of like winning the battle but losing the war mindset. What's the sense you saying something or doing something at a means to look right at that particular time? But in actuality, you're stunting yourself from being able to grow from a particular fixed mindset that you are adamant on. It's like, I think one knows everything is to be ignorant in bliss, because to know everything is to reach the end of infinity, and we are in perpetual creation. So that you utilize that line to humble oneself at all times, when you think you know everything. All right. The strength card definitely gives a sense of a time of really taming oneself's carnal kind of like perpetual urges that keep putting persons in cycle, and really kind of like taming the inner kind of beast so that it's conducive to your progression and doesn't become an obstacle to it. So of course, decisions, decisions. So I'm gonna wrap this up with one more card, and then over here. The Devil card came out in verse. This gives me a sense of understanding your bondages and allowing yourself the opportunities to be released from them. The Devil card upright speaks of persons that are at the whelms or at the chaining of their carnal urges or wants or desires. Inverse tells me that one is understanding those chains and trying to kind of release themselves from it. But releasing oneself isn't about being stagnant in the guilt of it. It's kind of like restructuring one's value and mindset. Hierophant. Structure your mindset, structure your ideology and your philosophies. The Hierophant deals with ideology, deals with religious structures, deals with governmental structures, very earthy energy. And this reading has been very earthy and fiery within the realms of emotion and impulsive emotion. So it's honestly for this next lunar cycle, I think the next eclipse coming up at the end of this month, I just think there should be definitely a focus on what you want that's going to emotionally fulfill you. Excuse me. You guys, I'm expecting a package from Amazon, and language barriers, all of that stuff. Like I'm literally watching like a hawk from my balcony to make sure that I don't miss this Amazon driver, because it was a mission last time. Definitely get a sense that this lunar cycle is all about what it is that you feel like it's going to emotionally fulfill you. Okay? Two of Cups came inversed, as well as the Five of Wands. What is it that you're not coming into union with when it comes to the bridge between your emotional fulfillment and those wants, and the actions that are going to be taken so that those become an actuality? Five of Wands is getting stuck into perpetual kind of like validation in terms of arguments and kind of like arguing with each other, trying to understand me. This is what I mean. At this particular time, right now, it's just all about with the it's overthinking the process. Overthinking the process, overthinking what it is that you think that you want, overthinking the things that you feel like you were no longer going to want within this transition and the evolution that the individuals watching this video are going through. And I think you do yourself a disservice in doing so. You kind of want to just kind of yourself to like evolve as an individual, because you are just as much as you were 10 years old as you are now, just overlaid with experiences and layers. Okay, allow yourself to continuously evolve. Show gratitude to the essences of your expression that you were, you still are. Definitely tapping into more your feminine attributes, nurturing oneself, understanding oneself. What else? Because I try to wrap this up like 3 times already, so we're gonna wrap it up right now. Really nurturing yourself emotionally and getting a sense of what it is that you want authentically, outside of needing to do anything to appease anyone or to manipulate anyone to do anything. I think one just needs to kind of understand and get in touch with yourself. Nurture yourself, understanding yourself. What is it that you're trying to actualize and want? Are you nurturing or providing safe space for yourself to actually speak what it is that you're wanting? Are you taking the opportunities that are arising? Are you speaking and letting your voice be heard in an articulate format, or it's tangible, not vocalizations of a vocalization of the realms of possibility? It's like what ifs. It's like using words and sentences that have little to no context but sound like you do. Like if I ask you how many miles are you, and you answer me pretty close, okay, that doesn't tell you the answer. It gives you the surface level of it. King of Swords is all about tangible articulation. There's no room for misinterpretation. It's very direct, all right? And realize the past experiences that you've had to kind of ward yourself and like direct yourself in a path that doesn't keep you in a loop. Okay, I hope this added some clarity for you in the collective. And if you have any questions or have any insights about what's going on in your life, by all means please comment down below. Take care and later.